Evening, folks, and welcome to the Soccer Show. Blakey on deck for week 3 of the program, along with Paul Williams. Good evening to you, Paul. Talk in a minute. Match of the day tonight, the Fawkner Blues against the Werribee City Bees from Dukes Road out in Fawkner. All the results, special guest coming in the studio, the coach of Altona Magic, Ian Dobson, and of course the junior segment. This week we took the cameras out to Heathmont College, so stick with us for that one. Lots of excitement, lots of action coming up in the next hour. If soccer's your bag, stay with us. Even if it's not, well, we're probably worth a look in anyway. Don't forget, stay watching. We'll be back in just a moment.
Yes, welcome to the show again. Another 60 minutes of the very best of Victorian soccer action. And as Greg said, the Premier League match of the day is Fawkner against Werribee. And sometimes you go to these games thinking that it's not going to be much of a game. But I can assure you this is one of the best Premier League matches that I've ever seen. So stick with it. Fawkner currently in 7th position, Werribee in 13th. So both teams needed the 3 points. We'll also have news later on in the show of our new mailbag section on the Soccer Show. So you can write in and tell us what you think, or tell us what you'd like to see on the show. And in fact, someone has already preempted that because we've had our first letter. And I'd like to read it out to you. To the Soccer Show. I look forward every Monday night to sitting down and watching the show. However, there's one criticism that I'd like to make. The presenters look untidy. Can you believe it, Blakey? Paul looks neat, but last Monday night his tie was a little untidy. However, when they came back after the commercial, it was straight again. But Greg's tie looked untidy at the beginning of the show and at the end as well. Doesn't anyone on the show know how to fix these people up? Well, that's probably the best offer I've had in a while, but I'll continue. Greg's a great presenter, and his attitude and his enthusiasm is great, but his dress sense really stinks. Don't change the show because it's great and very informative. Diana Salvatore, a Bulleen supporter.
Yeah, well, that explains it all, doesn't it? Bulleen supporter, but you have to have a bit of concern, don't you, about somebody that takes the time to write such abject crap as this. Anyway, Diana, I'm telling you now, if you want to come in and fix me up, here's a personal invitation. Come into the studios of the Soccer Show and you can fix me up. But at this point in time, dear girl, I'll be sticking with the tie as it is for the remainder. In fact, I might just loosen it a little bit more, and I hope that aggravates you for this evening. But look, Paulie, speaking of that, you old-fashioned plate you, because he is quite lovely, isn't he, really, girls? The big game of the day out there at Dukes... I'll get rid of that rubbish. I don't want to see that again. The big game out at Dukes Road this afternoon, or yesterday afternoon, rather. Very, very important for Werribee City, in as much as they... basically had to take 3 points to have any chance of avoiding relegation. Fawkner, the big underachievers of the league. I mean, great team on paper, but of course we don't play matches on paper.
Yeah, Fawkner, of course, equally important for them, because I still think they're a chance to make the top 5. I know you may think that they're out of it, but I think they are still a chance. So they had to win as well, and whatever the mix was to prepare ourselves for a great game, this is it, and it is a good game, so stay tuned. We've got Fawkner against Werribee. Join Greg and I at the ground. It's at Dukes Road Reserve. Bit of a mud patch, but a good game nonetheless. It's Fawkner in the blue.
It's a dull afternoon here in Melbourne. They're hoping for the rain to hold off. It's just starting to fall lightly here at Dukes Road Reserve. It's been a marvellous sunny morning. But the longer the afternoon goes on, the darker it gets. Smart, early cross. Away by Gouris. As far as Minicello, who was beaten by the bounce of the ball. Here's Douglas. He's directing play forward. Nice turn inside. Chance to cross the ball. It's a good cross on the far post. And that will be a corner for Werribee. In fact, the decision has gone the other way because it was a free kick there. But more promising moves there from Werribee, and it was the number 9, Goran Georgieski, who was behind that one. A Premier League match of the day coming from Dukes Road Reserve. This crucial game for Fawkner. And a test for Werribee. Have they got the stomach to fight their way out of the relegation zone? Of course, they had that awful news last week that it would be 4 teams being relegated instead of 2. All that is an awful lot for new player coach Steve Douglas to handle. Chance for him to make a real name for himself. He can produce the Houdini act. Here's Smart. Straight to Bonini, who returns the favour and passes it back to a yellow shirt. Androulidaris. Forward is the number 2, Napoli. It's very slippery underfoot. The mud and the heavy ground will cause some problems, and you see one exactly there. And Werribee have lost possession, more due to the work of the pitch than from their opponents, and it's Fawkner forward. Minicello. So competent on the ball, Rino Minicello. Back to Cravari. Cross, deep cross. Nidic is there. And a good clearance away, and a crucial clearance away too. And it's still not clear. Good cross in. And Messina in goal. Gathers, and he clutches it to his tum. And he's pleased to do so as well, but it was another good move from Fawkner. And it was the number 3, Ryan Gilmore, who saved the day then for Werribee. And the rain starts to persist down here at Dukes Road. It's very heavy. And this is not good for the state of the pitch, at least. Still, it might provide for some lively moments in front of the goalkeepers. Georgieski losing out, forward quickly. Great ball too to Minicello. Minicello in space. Goes past one, can he put it back? Nidic is there. Here's Bonini! Well, he chose to blast the ball rather than place it. And it's always easy in hindsight to judge, but it appeared to be the wrong decision. Werribee take the kick. Time for Branoff to turn. It's all Fawkner. Minicello, also time for him to turn. Hard to hit a long ball like that in these heavy conditions. Nidic is in! And credit there to Messina, who came out and covered well. Valesi to Napoli. Georgieski goes down. And that will be a goal kick. Rattray, Nidic, good layoff. Again, some nice football in difficult conditions by Fawkner. Nidic going for the return. Valesi, awkward, great shot! Just over the bar from Rattray. Werribee staring not only at relegation, but also an uphill task here. Tidy play in difficult conditions. Nice football from Werribee. Napoli. Good play, Georgieski. Can't get past his man though. Be interesting to see which way that free kick goes, and it goes in favour of Georgieski. Danger here for the Blues. Free kick to Werribee in a dangerous position. Plenty of yellow shirts in the 18-yard area. Stochevski with the free kick. Oh, not cleared properly. Douglas! Great shots. Can they finish it off? And it's not out of play yet. Smart picks it up. Deep cross. Douglas is there. Challenging for that one. Georgeski. Bonini to Vinicello, and a let off for Faulkner. And you have to give credit there to the goalkeeper. Good save from Jansen, and Douglas too kept the volley down in difficult conditions. And a lively opening to the match here at Duke's Road. And first yellow of the day. And that was just for some untimely descent by Ryan Gilmore. Free kick. Taken by Rattray. He's a danger man. He's in charge of the set pieces. He'll be in-swinging this with the right foot. We've got Nidic in there. Goulis in there as well. Deep cross over the keeper tent. Good save. And he had to be so watchful there, Enzo Messina. I don't think that was a shot from Rattray, but it turned out to be a dangerous attempt nonetheless. And great ball from Steve Douglas. Napoli in space for Werribee. Danger here. Still Napoli. Chipped across. Douglas is there. The keeper's missed it. After line. Opening down. And it's Werribee who've taken the lead. And it's Drubadakis who scored.
As you've already pointed out, a critical game for them. It's almost must win every week from now on. This is the first of 6 games, all winnable, as Faulkner press forward. Bonini, the square ball. Rattray loses it. The shot coming long distance. Cannoned away. Bonini tries again and the goalkeeper does well. Messina tracking back in the mud. He slipped and he slid, but he took a clean catch. Neither in the top 5 race, which is surprising given the calibre of players out there this afternoon. And Werribee desperately trying to avoid relegation. It may be beyond them, but well, who knows? They lead it by 1 here, and a free kick to Faulkner, almost directly in front of the target. Rattray barking out commands. Bonini stands the football as well. 4 in the Werribee wall, about 6 outside the penalty area. Bonini uncertain, hits the nod, the number 8, the nuggety number 8, belts that one, but wide of the mark. Might have taken a cannon, no, it didn't. Another year of indifference for Faulkner. Super team on paper, but once again, they failed to capitalise. The longest serving member of the Premier League, the Faulkner Blues. Been in since 1983, never captured the title as Rattray spears his way through the middle. Short enough for Bonini, scores! Magnificent. And Carlos Rattray, who's had perhaps a hot and cold season, brilliant then, an incisive run, split the gap between the defenders, a deft touch for Bonini, and didn't he take his chance with some aplomb. So it's all level now at Duke's Road. The Blues blast back, and credit the big assist, Carlos Rattray, and the goal to Ransford Bonini.
There you have